Okay, good morning, folks. I've got something amazing that I want to talk to you about today. It's Tuesday morning. Welcome to Hacking Self Storage. If you want to follow me more, I've got a daily newsletter where I tell you all my figures, mrselfstorage.com. An email goes out before 8 o'clock every single goddamn morning, Monday to Friday. Okay, so I was talking to one of my business coaches yesterday, and he said, Dean, this is too good to be true. And I was like, I'm absolutely over the moon you said that because it looks absolutely ridiculous. And I'm just going to show you a high level. And honestly, I'm going to tell you exactly what my strategy is moving in 2025. I want to get to 15 sites by the end of 2025. I've currently got six. I've got two nearly at heads of terms at the minute, two extra ones. Hopefully, we'll have two or three by the end of the year. So that means we'll have nine sites by the end of the year. And then I want to get to 15 by next year. What we're going to do is the vast majority of them are going to be outside container sites. I think there's a massive opportunity. And I don't mean these banged up shipping containers as cheap as possible. I mean premium outdoor facilities, and I mean in good locations. And yes, I have this argument all the time with people. People say location don't matter. I don't care what you say, location matters. Absolutely ridiculous. If you're opening a self-storage now, I would say you need to do one of two things, or even two. Number one, differentiate yourself from the rest of the population out there. Color your units, do whatever, but make them look different, make them stand out. Don't just have them so you can compare from A1 containers down the road to AAA containers. You've got to make yourself stand out in some way, shape, or form. Will it work if you don't right now? Of course it will. But will it work in 10 years' time? No. And I want to build a business for long term. Even if I'm not going to run it for long term, it still needs to be long term successful because of other people who are going to buy the container sites or storage off me. So I want to make it work long term. Number two, I do think you need to be in an A or a B at the very worst location. Yes, it will work back and beyond on an industrial estate and it's cheap as chips. Somebody came to me the other week and the rent was something like £4,000 a year. And I was like, that's amazing. But just be careful, or just because it's cheap rent, you some way, shape, or form, you pay for that. You either pay for it in lack of quotes, lack of drive-by. It's not convenient for people. People pay for convenience, so you will pay for that in the lack of revenue per square foot you can make. So you will definitely pay for being off a beaten track. So I'm looking for A locations in and making the units nice as well. So what we've done here is I'm just showing you the returns of this site. Now, I've purposely put XXXXX because this isn't under heads of terms yet, so I don't want you to find out exactly where it is. We're nearly at heads of terms. One second. The only reason we're not is because the solicitor is away at the minute. So hopefully by the end of the week or next week we'll be at heads of terms. This is just a high level, very basic spreadsheet. But also, I want to talk to you about containerized storage as well, because if you look at Cuboid, if you're on mrselfstorage.com, there's an article coming out tomorrow morning about Cuboid again. Basically, it's just taken what was said last week and rewritten in another article. I think Inside Self Storage did it. And basically, they're expanding. I think they've got 23 sites now or 24 sites, and they want to expand shitloads and they want to get to £210 million valuation in the next few years. So they're really going for it. And I think this model is beautiful, perfect. And I think that everybody out there listening to this can open their own self-storage facility, their own outdoor self-storage facility. I'm so bullish on this. I so want people to do it because it's massively changed my life as self-storage. And I know it can massively change yours. Anybody who'll sit down and listen to me, I get talking to people on holiday. I say, should be in self-storage, should be in self-storage. And then next morning they come back and listen to my podcast, listen to my YouTube and like, oh my God, tell me more about self-storage. I'm like, this and this and this. This is all you need to do. Go and do it. And you make money. And again, I was talking to an advisor yesterday and they said, Dean, why are you talking about it? Why don't we just do it? I said, the reason I'm talking about it is because I haven't got the bloody money to do it. It's great. I mean, one site, it might cost 70 grand to open. Another site might cost 100 grand to open in terms of cash flow injection needed. And if I want to open 10 sites, I don't have £1 million just sat there to open 10 sites. And that's the cash flow I need because we're talking about stuff that you cannot or will maybe struggle to get finance for, like planning, solicitors fees, signage, CCTV, VAT you need for cash flow. You've got to be aware of that. And so there's all them things that add up. And then the cash flow deficit might be £5 grand in the first month. You might lose because you're paying rent, you're paying rates, you're doing it, and you've only got a little bit of income. So in total, we work it out how much you need, and it's between 50 and depending on what site it is, by the way. I mean, this is if you because this is if you don't get any rent-free period. There is a site that I was looking at that you could have opened for under £20,000, which is in the course. But yes, at the minute I do charge. I do charge for the course. I'm going to go hard in 2025 selling the course. At some point, I've got a number that I want to hit. At some point, that's it. Boom, course is gone because it's just done. It doesn't stand. Ultimately, the only reason I'm doing the course is to get money to put back in self storage because I can't. There's only so much I can self fund because at the minute I think we worked out that it's currently £80,000 a month. My debt services at the minute, 80,000 a month. That means I need to make 960 grand net profit, clear cash flow profit, just to service the debt. Oh, boggles the mind, that absolutely boggles the mind. Yes, it'll be a fantastic business afterwards. All the debt's cleared and we're paying it down really aggressively, but that's a lot of money. And I can't lie, the stress of having that over your head every single month, right? We need to make this, we need to make this, we need to make this. It is tough. And I don't want people to think, someone said to me the other day, I won't mind being a bob behind you, Dean. I was like, you have no idea how much my borrowings is mate. It's literally a lot of debt, a lot of debt. And by the way, it's good serviceable debt. It's fine. That's why I've got so many mentors surrounding me on financial experts because I want to make sure that it's serviceable, etc. And I'm not overlooking something because overstretching a business, that is where you can kill yourself. And so we're not in any danger of killing ourselves, but it's still not good to have. So there's a certain amount of money. I don't really want to borrow any more money. I want to try and do it from my course sales. And by the way, I'm talking about the course. The course isn't open at the minute, but we have got a new strategy that we're going to be using in 2025. So I'll be talking about it less because I hate when the cart's open for like 4 or 5 days and talking about it, selling it. So what I'm trying to say is, number one, the course will be only open for a proportion of 25, and then we're stopping when I get to my magic number I want, and then all that will be going in self-storage, and then the profits from there can fund more and more and more. So that's why we're doing the course. I want to be open and honest with you. Yes, I do want to help you, but also it's eating into my opportunity because for more and more people, we've had like 74 people go through the course now, which is great in terms of cash flow for me. But if all those 74 open self-storage, then it definitely is going to affect the market. And we're going to sell hundreds more next year. And so it's going to affect the market. And yes, I know that most people will open it. Most people get a course and don't read it, do it, listen to it, and you can take a horse to water and all that lot. So most people won't do it, but if a vast majority do, then that's going to definitely impact me in some way, shape, or form. So the money it costs for the course at some point doesn't become worth it for me overall. But this is me trying to kick you up the butt and say, if you are on the fence about self-storage, I've got nothing to sell you right now. Self-storage is a wonderful vehicle, I'm going to be doing more posts at throwing stones at property compared to self-storage. And the returns, yes, there's more work involved, etc. But the returns are incredible. I mean, I was talking to a business coach yesterday who said that he's never, ever seen returns like it, ever, in the history of all the people that he does business with. Right, let's quickly go through this. Right, here's the capital expenses: 30,500 for the lights, CCTV, signage, solicitors' fees, planning, etc. And then this is a leasing model. So we're leasing on a monthly basis. This is the projections on a leasing model. I haven't done projections on asset finance as of yet, but we will do. But just to make sure, don't worry about the cash on cash return because we're not really focused on. I don't think it's correct, or I don't think it's the way I want to display it. So don't focus on that. Right. So basically, here, if you're watching this on a podcast, basically I'm going through this spreadsheet, and if you want a copy of a spreadsheet, by the way, email me deanbooty@icloud.com, and I will send you a copy of a spreadsheet so you can have a look at it. But the returns are ungodly, are absolutely crazy. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I've got the returns all written down, so I won't be a second. I ain't stopped the recording. Okay, so I'm back. Right. So really quickly, this location that I've showed you the spreadsheet on, don't forget, if you want a copy of it, deanbooty@icloud.com, I'll send you it over and you won't be able to find out where it is. The cash flow that I need, actually, it might be a different one. I've got two spreadsheets open. Anyway, the cash flow needed Oh no, that's I don't know. Right. Anyway, this particular site, I'll send you this site over so you can compare it. The cash flow injection I need for 12 months, it'll be negative cash flow for 12 months. The total is 31,530. They're not massive amounts. The setup fees are £25,000. Now, it might be a little bit cheaper than you see on the spreadsheet because £7,000 for planning, I think is too much. So in total, it's £56,530 to set this place up and to the have the cash flow needed to make sure that you don't run out of cash when you're in a cash flow deficit. And I think that this is a big old site, by the way. It's over 2 acres, and all we're doing is gaining one self-storage per week or six per month. So it's just over one a week. And if we can't do that there, we're in trouble. Every single self-storage around the area is full. It's incredible. And so, and then when we finish paying off the containers, so when the leasing period's over and we buy the containers, we'll be making £546,204 based on limited occupancy and also limited price per square foot as well. That's a 966% return on cash. I know what you're saying, Dean. Well, cash on cash properties, you only put a deposit down, 5% deposit down. Oh, well, you can't actually if you're doing a buy to let. But let's have a look at the big numbers then. Let's have a look at the return on capital, or the return on investment. So the containers, if you used to buy them outright, it'd be 901,600. 901,000, say. The setup fee is 25 grand. So we're talking 926,600, if you like, to set for the containers and the setup fees for the CCTV, etc., to make it manless, to have an operating system. That's how much it costs. The returns, once the site is mature, I think that's after 3 years, you can see on the spreadsheet, you're making a return of £546,000. That's a 59% return. A 59% return. But not only are you getting that, you've got a business there that's making 500 grand. Even if you get 5 times multiple, that's 2.5 million. You tell me an investment that you can do this. And I know what you're thinking, yeah, but Dean, it's a business. You've got to actually run it. We've got a container site in Beverley and we spend less than 2 hours a week on it. And it nets us 170 grand a year. And yes, it's not as big as this, but container sites, you don't need a lot. Let's say you need to employ somebody. You can't employ somebody with them kind of figures. So yeah, I think if you're not in container, honestly, you will look. I'm telling everybody, if you will look back on this time in life and just think, oh my God, I had the opportunity to have a container site. Dean's been banging this. I've been banging this drum about self-storage for 4 or 5 years. Yes, it'd been better to listen to me 4 or 5 years ago, but I promise you, the demand still in the UK and the supply, the demand is bigger than the current supply, and it's just going to grow and grow and grow. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be an inflection point. Is it inflection? Inflection? Well, I don't know. There's going to be. I'm not talking English, am I? I'm not teaching English. Taught in English? Jesus, I'm not teaching English. I'm teaching self-storage. I don't need to know that crap. There's going to be a point where it just becomes less and less viable to open new self-storage, and it becomes troublesome, like it is in America right now. But we're not at that point yet, and we will not be at that point for many, many years to come yet. I think we've got 5 to 10 years of the Goldilocks zone where it's not too hot, it's not too cold, and we can make hay. So if you've ever, and this is hating me saying this because 1, you're not buying my course, and number 2, I'm getting it's more competition. There's been competition setting up all around me, but I'm still doing good. They're still going good. Everybody's still going good. So, and I'm only saying this because I want you to do well in life. I want you to get something out of it. Self-storage is unbelievable. Start looking at some container sites because that's your foot in the door. Yes, it'd be amazing. I mean, me and the mentor yesterday, we had a bit of a disagreement because I was saying the holy grail if you get indoor self-storage. He goes, why? I don't give a shit about that. He goes, I give a shit about profit. I give a shit about returns. Why? Why is that? And I give a shit about risk, limiting risk. There's a bigger risk for indoor self-storage. Right, yeah. For so many reasons. You can't move a building. You can move containers. You can, you don't have to, you only buy containers when you need them. So if it's not working, guess what? You haven't lost a lot of money. Where indoor self-storage, what is it? £500,000 for my Mansfield site, the first phase? Over £500,000. And the second phase is going to be like 400 grand. Overall, it's going to be over £1 million. And that's a big investment. That's a big risk. However, because we know our numbers and stuff, but it's turned out unbelievable. But certainly, without a shadow of doubt, indoor self storage is more of a risk than outdoor self storage, in my opinion. In my opinion, for newbies starting, definitely container storage or outdoor, some sort of outdoor units. Anyway, I know people are going to hate me talking about this inside self storage because they want to alter themselves, and I can see that. I get it. But the cat's out of the bag now. Loads of people know about self storage. I mean, even at the farm, what is it, the farm conference? They're talking about all their self storage. People have gone over there telling everybody about self storage. It's not just me. Don't have a go at me. Have a go at the other people who are going to all these conferences telling people. Because I do get messages saying, "Dean, shut up. You don't need to tell everybody. Why do you have to tell everybody?" I get loads of them. And there's other people you can attack as well. You don't just have to attack me. Right. All right. I'm going to go and play Fortnite with my kids. All right. Love you. Appreciate you. I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.